From the Convergence Studio in the School of Communication, this is Loyola News Chicago.
Hello, and welcome to Loyola News Chicago. I'm Gabby Demergen.
And I'm Megan Carabelli. In today's news, a question about the safety of your personal information. Loyola Book is a website connecting students using their major, year they entered school, and their hometown. But a recent investigation by the Loyola Phoenix found that if you open a student's picture in another tab, you can see his or her 11-digit student ID number. With that number, it could be possible to access that student's private records. As for what you can get into with the student ID, records of appointments at the Wellness Center are kept locked until a student swipes their ID card or enters their barcode number. An ID along with a username and password can give someone access to change or cancel a student's financial aid. Even some dining hall staff have been known to let a student buy food or groceries using just their number. It could even be possible to change a student's major or minor. The day after the Phoenix report, Loyola Book site redirected users to the Loyola homepage. Phoenix reporter Edward Ballantyne says there's a chance Loyola could be violating federal law because of what the ID number gives you access to.
I was vaguely familiar with something called the Family Education Rights Protection Act, called FERPA. It's a federal privacy law, and I was curious if student ID numbers were something that were protected by that law, which stipulates that with certain information, students have to give schools permission before the schools disclose it to anybody.
Ballantyne has spoken with several students' rights advocacy groups that say if the ID numbers are linked to student records, the students did not have a chance to opt out. Loyola could be violating FERPA law. While students are given the option to remove their photo from Loyola Book, many are unaware that their ID number is being published if they don't.
The Loyola administration issued a response to the Phoenix story. In an email statement to Loyola News Chicago, Communication Director Maeve Kiley said, "A Loyola ID is internal to the university and has no other purpose outside of the university. The LID is not classified as sensitive information today. It is not the sole identifier and therefore cannot be used to access personal records or information." In addition to the response from Loyola administration, we asked students for their reaction to the Loyola Book story. Some students we talked to were more upset about the potential breach than others.
It makes me feel as if my information isn't protected. I don't feel like everything that should be confidential, I don't feel as if it is.
I hope that no one has actually taken advantage of it yet, but obviously Loyola should fix it immediately. I'm just glad that somebody pointed it out before, someone took advantage of it.
It makes me very uncomfortable that somebody has access to my information in a place that's supposed to be safe.
We will stay with the story and bring you updates on any changes regarding Loyola Book and access to student ID numbers.
Student bicyclists may be concerned after a Phoenix report highlights a rise in bike thefts on campus this year. According to the report, bike thefts for this school year nearly doubled from the year before. There were 9 bike thefts in the fall semester and 5 since the spring semester began. Campus Safety suggests students buy a strong U-lock to prevent theft and store bikes in a secure location when possible. Most of us are sick and tired of the snow and ice in Chicago, but there's been at least one good thing. There's no doubt this winter season has been brutal. Freezing temperatures and excessive amounts of snow have made it one of the worst winters in Chicago's history. But this extreme weather has had one positive effect: lower crime rates.
In typical Chicago winters, crime slows down significantly, but this year in particular, it's slowed down a lot. Homicides are down 50% compared to this time last year. Due to the weather and the inclement weather and the amounts of snow and people staying indoors.
But Officer Flores says while violent crimes are down, domestic crimes are up. He speculates that's because people are together indoors more and out of the cold.
The Loyola community can enjoy the many green perks of the new Institute of Environmental Sustainability. We found that this state-of-the-art addition helps reduce the university's ecological footprint.
This modern building is not only eye-catching, but efficient as well.
The windows are designed to capture natural sunlight, which decreases energy costs for Loyola's Institute of Environmental Sustainability. And inside, the 3,000 square foot Ecodome is a greenhouse that hosts urban agriculture research projects. After opening last fall, the Institute adopted the Environmental Science Department with more options for classes and research opportunities. The merge also revamped the department's curriculum with additional majors in environmental policy, conservation and restoration, and food systems and sustainable agriculture. Academic Director Chris Peterson says the improvements will enhance students' educational experience.
Now they also have facilities, they have additional staff members associated with the greenhouse, associated with our composting program, associated with the Loyola University Retreat and Ecology campus, that now they all have much greater access to than they did before.
The Institute also promotes healthy eating with its Green Cafe ingrained. Many students prefer locally grown and organic food options instead of Loyola's more traditional dining halls.
Having it ingrained as an option on days where it doesn't sound appetizing and I want a salad that actually tastes good, I feel like this is a step in the right direction to get students here, making that part of their daily lives.
The building also houses the biodiesel program that recycles the university's waste to create clean energy. Biodiesel lab manager Zach Wakeman believes the facility advocates hands-on learning.
The biodiesel program came out of that, a desire to have experiential learning and an application to the environmental sustainability that we're teaching.
And to conserve energy, the Institute runs its own underground heating system.
The biodiesel processor behind me is completely built into the building operations. All of the heat that we need for this processor isn't provided by electrical heating or by natural gas. It's provided by the geothermal system that's in the building.
These are just some of the ways the Institute of Environmental Sustainability is striving toward a greener campus. Gabby Demergen, Loyola News, Chicago. Environmental science separated from Loyola's College of Arts and Science when the institute was built, but Chris Peterson, the academic program director, hopes the institute will become its own school once the department reaches 300 sustainability majors. It currently has 155. The institute is also attached to San Francisco Hall, a new eco-friendly dorm. It includes systems to recycle water and track how much electricity the residents use. You know, Megan, I'm really excited to try Ingrained Cafe. Have you ever been there?
Oh yeah, I had a really good chicken sandwich there a couple weeks ago.
Sounds good.
Coming up on Loyola News, can spring come quickly enough or is it too early?
And the Ramblers try to play the role of giant killers. We'll show you what happened in a raucous Gentile Arena next.
How you feel? How you feel?
I'm feeling good. Spin me, spin me.
Got you.
Oh, goodness.
Joe Flaherty is here with sports. I guess the Ramblers gave it the old college try.
Yeah, Megan, the key word there is try. Campus was abuzz with the news that the undefeated Wichita State Shockers were coming to town. Loyola's matchup against the third-ranked team in the nation marks the first time a ranked opponent has visited Rogers Park since 2010. 4-minute mile runners Tom O'Hara and Sam Penzenstadler weren't the only Ramblers in the house with a little history on their minds. Capacity crowd of nearly 4,600 packed Gentile Arena February 19th to watch David try and take down Goliath. Chicago native Fred Van Vliet had quite the homecoming. This three here was part of his 22 points to go along with 8 boards and 6 assists. Shockers controlled the glass all night, out-rebounding the Ramblers by 17. Loyola down just 7 after halftime, but State pulled away late and capped things with this late dunk by Darius Carter. Loyola falls 88-74, and after the game, head coach Porter Moser said one play told the whole story.
And it was a rebound when we were still, I think it was like 5 or 6 minutes left. We're trying to battle. Tequil Cotton just ripped it out of our hands. And just ripped it out of our hands. And that was, that kind of symbolizes how they play. I mean, they just found a way to win.
Another shock the same night was Boston College upsetting number 1 Syracuse, leaving Wichita State as the last unbeaten left standing. Shockers moved up to number 2 behind Florida. And just as the men's team hopes to avoid beating the Shockers again during Arch Madness, the women's basketball team is starting its own planning for the Missouri Valley Tournament. I found out why this season has been a roller coaster ride for rookie coach Cheryl Swoops.
Team on three, 1, 2, 3. Team.
Head coach Cheryl Swoops is prepping her team for the final stretch of their first season in the Missouri Valley. After a legendary playing career, her first year as coach has been a tough one. Since starting conference play 4-2, the Ramblers have lost 5 of their last 6 and sit in the bottom half of the standings.
We surprised a lot of people in the beginning. People have kind of figured us out, so now what? And for me as a coach, it's my job to say to the players, we can't get comfortable. We can't get complacent with just being in 6th place. I want to be better.
3 starters have been lost to injury, including leading scorer and rebounder Simone Law. But her injury opened the door for senior forward Troy Hambrick, who now leads the team in points, rebounds, blocks, and steals.
I just really wanted to go all out my last year here. You know, I've always been considered a role player. My name, you know, didn't come up on the scoreboards or anything like that. But, you know, I've been given this opportunity to just kind of lead the team, and I think a lot of my teammates rely on me.
Hambrick is now in discussion for Missouri Valley Player of the Year and became the first Rambler invited to the Pro Hoops Draft Combine. Swoop says it was only a matter of time before we saw Hambrick blossom into a star.
I just think that's the type of player she's always been, whether that's taking, you know, me coming in and pulling that out of her, or whether that's just herself believing in that. It's just happening.
Swoops is confident the team can finish strong and clinch a top 6 seed. That would give the Ramblers a first-round bye heading into their first Missouri Valley tournament.
The team plays its last 2 games at home, and we'll see if they can take care of that home court advantage at the Joe. And hey, anything could happen during tournament time. That's it for sports.
Thanks, Joe.
Hard to believe it's that time, but spring break is upon us. Loyola's break, the first week of March, is the earliest of any schools in our area. Is our break too early, though? With our harsh winter, Kendall Pectus found out that students are ready for spring, if not spring break.
So it's raining, it's snowing, and it's freezing out here in Chicago, but Loyola's still having its spring break in the winter. And as I found out, there are some students who love this, others who don't really seem to care, and some that just despise it.
I wish it could be a little later, because I mean this is not even a spring break. It's like a post-winter break kind of thing. Yeah, and yeah, I wish it's gonna be later, like a little later, so we can enjoy the weather and stuff.
I feel we should start it later, because my friend, he's from DePaul. We want to travel together, and because his spring break is like at the end of March, so we're trying to find a date together, like for the periods. But fortunately, I'm a graduate student here, so I have time like to split out 4 days during the weekend. So, but I definitely wish we could do it later.
Honestly, I don't really have much of an opinion on it. I mean, I'm sure it starts early, so it's good for me.
For years now, Loyola's had its spring break during the first week of March, and who knows if that'll ever change. Kendall Pectus, Loyola News, Chicago.
U of I and Columbia College don't have their breaks until the 4th week of March. Well, after Loyola is back in school. Sunshine certainly brings happiness for Chicagoans. Find out how you can celebrate warm weather with good eats after the break.
And social media lets us know when our friends' birthdays are, but what about the birthdays of the sites themselves? We'll tell you which websites celebrate a milestone when we come back.
Miss? 多少钱一碗？一碗 just 一碗。我和你 I'll pay you money. I've got this money here. Please take the money, please. Let me see.
把他带走。
camera.
Kristen Jones is here with today's Loyola Extra to get our stomachs rumbling for springtime. Thanks for joining us, Kristen.
Of course, thank you. If you're stuck in a dining rut, be patient. Unique restaurants bound to ignite your taste buds are headed to 3 Chicago neighborhoods. Thousands of square feet will comprise Harry Carey's 7th inning stretch on the 7th floor of the Water Tower Place. Almost 10,000 square feet will make up the Chicago Sports Museum. 250 diners and 60 bar customers can enjoy the new Harry Carey's location all at one time. Take yourself out for the ball games come April. Hope you're feeling cheesy, Wicker Park, because the master of the classic sandwich is headed to North Milwaukee Ave and is bringing a friend. 80s themed French fry and liquor whiskey business will neighbor the pub and grub. Enjoy the outdoor and indoor seating when Wicker Park greets both cheesies and whiskey business in April. For those who prefer more of an Eastern cuisine, Odaki Asian Bistro is opening up in Andersonville. The completely new restaurant is planning to feature sushi and hot items, but Odaki owners want the spot to have a casual vibe. Customers will order their food at a counter, but wait, staff will then serve. Free Wi-Fi will also be accessible to customers. Odaki is headed to North Clark Street this summer.
Thanks, Kristen. I'll definitely have to try some of those places this summer.
I can't wait.
Facebook is celebrating a milestone this month after changing the way we communicate with each other. The Emily Olson report, some users don't think it's as popular as it once was.
Facebook is turning 10 this month. We went to Corboy Law Center to talk with Loyola students to see if they love Facebook just as much as they did 10 years ago.
I got a Facebook back in, I think it was 2008, so I've had it for 6 years now. I don't know if I think it's cool necessarily anymore, just because there's a lot of adults and parents on it, like my whole family's on it, so I would say probably not.
I use my Facebook a lot to stay in touch with friends who live in other parts of the country, or to look at pictures, or just to stay up to date with people who I don't see every day or talk to on a normal basis. I personally like Instagram more than Facebook. I think with Instagram, people don't post as many useless comments. It's not as much of a personal diary like people use Facebook for.
I think Facebook will stay relevant for a long time. I do like Instagram just because I'm more attracted to looking at pictures and things like that. But I think it will remain cool.
Despite a recent Forbes report declaring Facebook uncool, it seems that most Loyola students still keep Facebook on their social media diet. Emily Olson, Loyola News Chicago.
Even if many Loyola students prefer other social media, an estimated 64% of Facebook users still visit the site every day.
Just when you thought technology has reached its limit, something even crazier develops. A Japanese company has created a program called Senti that delivers phone notifications through scents instead of ringtones. The app requires a smell dongle, a small cartridge that plugs into the headphone jack. Users can enjoy 100 sprays of scents like lavender, strawberry, and coffee.
I'm more concerned about the words smell dongle than that actual app.
I don't think I'd ever want to smell my brother. No. That's our news for today. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time. Have a great day.